In the grim darkness of the third millennium, there is only Brother Gray. Greetings, brothers. In this presentation, we will be looking at classic Games Workshop fantasy miniatures from a bygone age. 1987, to be precise. The miniatures in question are a Heroes Expansion for the board game Dungeonquest. If you are a follower of the channel, you will have hopefully seen 2 narrated playthroughs of this game, with 2 of the 4 base characters, Volric the Brave and Elidoran. This rare expansion provides 12 new souls, classically sculpted by the hand of man and woman, and cast in the finest heavy metal money can buy. Just soak in this astoundingly good box art by one of the grand masters of the era, David Gallagher. Unravel the composition, the tree branch on the left and the swords on the right, cupping the logo from either side as it arches around the top of Dragonfire Castle. Credit also for the graphic designer of the rear of the box, a wondrous amalgamation of set photography and original art, whilst simultaneously giving you all the information you could ever need. I purchased the relic from the eBays whilst away on holiday. It's a very good example with only the 8 new ring cards missing. I will need to make those myself. With the nostalgia tax, the set cost me 225 queen heads. It seems a lot, but at £18.75 each, that's not bad. 1987 was 38 years ago, after all.
Brother Gray drifts momentarily to those days. It seems only like yesterday. He had only recently left school and was interned as an apprentice vehicle mechanic and body fitter. His mode of transport was a scratch-built BMX. Chrome frame, black Skyways, and green Comp 3 freestyle tires. His vinyl collection consisted primarily of heavy metal from the likes of Metallica, Anthrax, Dio, and Megadeth, interlaced with the Beastie Boys, Run DMC, and Public Enemy. The reason he had missed the Dungeonquest release was due to a newfound obsession: the female of the species. Indeed, the desire for the conquest of fresh females was all-consuming for a young Brother Gray. Chemical changes ravaged his body, his mind enslaved by millions of years of programming evolution. Alcohol, women, food, and anything with an engine were now the masters of his domain. Good times.
Ah, yes, good times indeed. Let's get back to the task at hand. As usual, I have been showing you the condition of the figures as they have come to me, whilst the memory bint was whittering away about my adolescent years. Those paying attention and not painting will have noticed that a few are almost fully painted, while most merely have a few colors at best. There are 4 figures that I will not strip. I will add to them with my own hand. This will not only speed up the painting process, but also retain some of the hard work of the previous owner and help lock in the history and nostalgia. The bases have been hand-sculpted with a dungeon floor texture. Nice work, guy. Sadly, this will be destroyed when I strip them, but I will endeavor to replicate a similar design as a homage. As you can see by the associated stat cards, most of the new heroes have some sort of special rules and extra ranged weaponry. These are the ones I am more interested in for the solo story playthroughs. The sorcerer is one of the keepers. He is one of my favorite sculpts, and will need little work to match him into my style of painting.
1987. Brother Gray continues on his youth training scheme. He is paid the measly sum of £35 a week for his apprenticeship. For that, he is abused by his employer, given all the dirty manual labor that nobody wants to do, and barely given any actual skilled training. Wet sanding rusty panels, masking vehicles in the spray booth, and sweeping the floors were his primary function. He notes that his friends at his college are given better training and also extra pay from the garages they work in. After a year of hard slog and using his BMX to commute, Brother Gray asks the body shop manager for extra pay like his friends have. He is fobbed off each time with empty promises, and the dream of owning a motorcycle like his friends was slipping away. Brother Gray started to realize that the world wasn't fair. Simply doing hard work and being reliable was not enough for these people. He decided to let them all do their own dirty work one morning, and he stayed in bed. His mechanic, panel beater dream was over.
Yada yada yada. Enough of the yip-yap. These are the three characters with no special rules. A real disappointment. I doubt I will use these much in-game, but the minis could easily be used on many others, such as League of Dungeoneers, which I have recently acquired. You can see that a previous owner has written notes next to some of the rules, possibly from an errata. I love this. It means that the set has most likely been used in the past and not just kept in storage. On the back, we see an advertisement for the Catacombs expansion. I did actually own this a few years back, but sold it on the eBays, as I was not much interested in how it played. A definite regretful sale now, as it was still a great part of the collection. I will pick it up again someday. Here are the legends responsible for the game's existence. I will put a reference at the end of this video should you wish to see who you can recognize from other GW games. It really is quite a list.
Here we pay respects to the great Brian Ansell, who we sadly lost in 2023. There is no doubt that everything we do in this great hobby is attributed in some way to his foresight and risk-taking approach, forging GW and Citadel back in the early days. May he be forever remembered. Rest in peace, brother. Brother Gray pondered.
Silence, memory bint. The brothers are watching the stripper in action.
Very well, brothers. The stripper got to work by easing its gelatinous form between all the crevices of the heroes, its pure white form settling over them, smothering them with a new beginning. Old paint crinkled and burned away as the bio-stripper worked her magic. She was a silent killer of the past. The heroes would emerge from their session renewed, rejuvenated, and ready for fresh paint and new adventure.
Here is my progress thus far. I only added some color to the helmet and pelt. I added some shade to break up the armor panels, but I love the silver the previous owner used. I added blue to the ninja like the box art, some red to his accessories for color balance, and detailed the rope. The Warrior of Chaos had been painted green, unlike the box art silver. I liked it, so I added some shade and detailed him up further. I think he looks great. The Sorcerer is a superb sculpt. He would be perfect with a raised middle finger. Stripped back to 1987, you can now really see the details on these figures.
This berserker dwarf is Brother Gray's favorite. The pose, so unique head back, arms relaxed. Has he just finished a rampage, or is he about to start one? He ponders which of the design team sculpted them. It's a pity they are only named in a group. These days, GW don't even credit designers. A sad state of affairs.
Whilst on my holiday, I had started a project to design a card and token holder for the game. Here is the 11th prototype. One more change is needed to make treasure tokens easier to remove. It will certainly help keep the table tidier and more compact. I will upload the STL to the big purple site for a modest fee. And with that, it's time to see the fruits of my labor. All 12 new heroes ready to face almost certain death in the dungeon quest. For 38 years the heroes had waited, boxed and forgotten, cast aside as newer, more modern miniatures took center stage. Lying in darkness, their quest was no more. No purpose, no reason to exist, but to be part of a collection. Now, in year of our Lord, 2025, the quest can begin. secret of metal has always carried with it a mystery. You must learn its riddle. You must learn its discipline. For nothing, no material in this world can you trust. Not plastic, not resin, not 3D print. Metal. This you can trust. Original design, Dan Glimna and Jacob Bonds. English language rules, Jervis Johnson and Paul Cockburn. Graphic design, Bill Sedgwick Miniatures. Designed by Bob Naismith, Trish and Ailey Morrison, Jez Goodwin, Michael and Alan Perry. Cover art, David Gallagher. Game. Art, Dave Andrews and Colin Dixon, and produced by the Games Workshop Design Studio. Managing Director, Brian Ansell. Studio Manager, Tom Kirby. Production Manager, Alan Merritt. Print Buyer, Bob Malin. Art Manager, John Blanche. Citadel Design. Manager, Bob Naismith. Editorial Manager, Phil Gallagher. Assistant Production Manager, Steve Bruce. Assistant to Art Manager, Lan Cook. Graphic Design, Mark Craven. Brian George. H. Bill Sedgwick. Designers, Developers, Mike Brunton, Graham Davis, Richard Hallowell, Jervis Johnson, Rick Priestley, Sean Masterson. Photographer, Phil Lewis. Artists, Illustrators, Tony Ackland, Dave Andrews, Lan Cook, Colin Dixon, Mike McVeigh, Sid. Citadel Designers, Kevin Adams, Jess Goodwin, Alistair Morrison, Trish Morrison, Alan Perry and Michael Perry. Plastics Manager, John Thornthwaite. Typesetting, Lindsay D. Ledoux Payton, Dawn Duffy. Finished Artists, Heidi Allman, Katie Briggs, David Clement, Chris Colston, Tony Osborne, David Oliver, Nick Erd, Lucy Richardson, Richard Wright. Studio Assistant, Tim Pollard. Administration, Elaine Cotham, Annette Faulkner, Heather Nicholson, Susan Smith. Thank you for your precious time, brothers. Until next time.
Brother Gray extends his gratitude to all who have supported him in this journey thus far. You are all a light in the darkness, a shining example of the best that man has to offer. Farewell, brothers.